Donald Trump picking up several high-profile endorsements yesterday, including Reverend Jerry Falwell Jr. and Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio. Our next guest also praising Trump for having his finger on America's pulse. I believe that's a quote from you, Florida Governor Rick Scott, saying jobs will be the most important factor when he does pick a favorite, but he's not ready, not yet, to issue any endorsements. We're going to try to get you to do that, though, before we finish talking to you. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Heather. I love you. I love your show in the morning. I work out to your show every morning. And by the way, there's no snow in Florida, so you should move to Florida.
Move to Florida, or at least go visit. So in terms of this race, every poll, it seems, since the campaigning began, not only has Donald Trump been in the lead, it's been significant. It does appear that Cruz is kind of narrowing that lead at this point. Why do you think he's been ahead and so consistently by so much?
Well, I can talk about Florida a little bit. You know, his race is similar to my race in 2010. I first ran as an outsider. I think that the most important thing that all the candidates have to do is talk about jobs. That's what I've done in 2010 and 2014. And I think anybody that's doing that, that people feel comfortable has a real plan, is going to continue to do well. But we've got a lot of great candidates in the race. We've got a lot from Florida: Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, some governors that I work with, Chris Christie and John Kasich. And so I'm like most voters in my state. I'm watching for a plan, and I'll continue to watch until I feel comfortable.
Yeah, and tell us, those of us on the outside, how does it work? I mean, are you getting a lot of phone calls from all of those candidates, people requesting your support, your endorsement?
Well, I've gotten to know, most of them over the last few years since I ran in 2010, and so I talked to them. Chris Christie, I worked with him with the RGA. He was RGA chair for my re-election. So I talked to the candidates, and some of them are more vocal about endorsements than others. But I think a lot of people in Florida, we're still waiting for a real definite jobs plan. That's what I ran on, and that's what's still the most important thing in our country.
Yeah, you also self-funded your campaign. How did that help you or benefit you?
Well, you've got to get your message out, especially if you're an outsider. I did that in 2010. I didn't have to do much of that in 2014 because we had a track record. We've added 1,025,000 jobs in 5 years. We have almost 300,000 job openings in our state. 365,000 people moved to our state last year. So now I've been able to get my message out.
Yeah, jobs, the economy, consistently #1 amongst concerns of Americans. But lately, it's been foreign policy with the threat that continues to come from ISIS. So do you think that Trump is prepared in that area? And which candidate do you think is best in terms of that?
I think foreign policy is going to be important, but the truth is you can't focus much on foreign policy if you don't have a good economy. I still think the key is going to be jobs. That's what I ran on. I think the typical family in this country cares about a job for the family, an education for the child, and then live in a safe community. So it starts, though, with a good jobs plan. And
so which candidate do you think has the best jobs plan? And since you think that is the most important element, does that mean that you will endorse that person?
Well, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I think it's still early. I'm looking for a very specific plan that's going to get, we need, 12 million jobs in the next 4 years. I put out a plan when I ran 700,000 jobs in 7 years, and we've already hit 1 million jobs in 5 years because we are very focused in our state. All
right, so you're not going to name a candidate that you think has that best plan?
I'm not ready to do it yet. I've got a lot of friendships and friends in the race, and I'm going to continue to watch what they say about how they're going to get our economy going.
Governor Scott, thank you so much for joining us.